go. Comedy Jonah.
We're here this week. Yay!
Yay! Welcome back.
It's so nice
East.
to be back, but yeah, we're both under the weather, but I guess the show must go on, right?
I think everyone is sick of us at the beginning of every one of these shows having a problem. We're going to try not to just be a coughing, dying mess into your phone. So this will be great. Yes, we have both recovering from being ill and the holiday. But the shows don't stop.
No.
There's the interview with Moose has finally been put up. That wasn't our fault. BB Can took off for Easter. So we got that up the first day we had that. And then, of course, the triple eviction interviews are up. And now John and I are here and back for all of you.
Yay! I can't wait to hear what Summer says. It's probably a hot mess.
I love summer and everyone. I am not allowed to have an opinion or else Twitter will come for me.
I love summer too. I want to hang out. I want to have a happy hour. But as far as in the game, come
Yeah.
on. Blech.
And that is how I feel about Betty, but you cannot say that. Like you
Oh no,
just
I like
like
Betty so much better.
she's better. Like fun-wise, she's a
Better
fun
Betty.
time and a great personality, but I think Betty and Summer to me are the same have the same problem in the game of neither one of them understand the social aspect of the game. And I know that Twitter will come and be like, they were nominated 3 times. And what if you were nominated 3 times? Then I don't give a fuck. Then don't play the game if you can't keep your composure because it's a social game.
Before you go crazy, why don't you tell
Yeah.
everybody how they can find us?
You already know how to find us, John. Just make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Discord, Twitch. You guys know the deal. That, and look, no one has any trouble hate tweeting me this week, so they've all found me. I thought we could hide maybe a little. I've been hiding
Yeah.
in the patron group. Sharing the show, putting it in a Facebook group, letting everyone know where they can find them is a great way to help support our shows. You can always tweet us your questions with hashtag YRRLive or check out our website, yourrealityrecaps.com, for the past, 10 years of these shows. 10 years. So I love it when the children come for me on Twitter over. Like, I just want to be like, do you know what I used to say 10 years ago? I literally was just like, Betty's being so extra. I wish she understood it was more a social game. And oh, they came for me. I'm the worst. It's always I'm racist. I'm all of these horrible things. I'm just like, I love her. I love Betty. I love Summer. I think they're great people. But at the end of the day, when you explode, anybody does it. Yes, that is going to make people feel a way about you. It is ammunition that people can use against you. I'm not saying any of them are not justified in their feelings. Of course you
Right.
are. I'm just saying from a good gameplay standpoint, I don't want people to be able in the jury to say, Betty was so explosive, Summer was so explosive.
Right.
We're not going to give the win to someone that can't compose themselves. That's all I'm saying. It's hard to get that across on Twitter. And here's
What
the other problem. I don't stay to fight. So I'm just like, you don't get it, you don't get it. Bye.
Here's what I don't get about the children. First of all, a reason 586 not to have any. But
Right. Oh,
they
definitely.
the children that attack on the social media
Yeah.
don't understand. They're playing a Marty. It's a Marty response, right? It's a game. It's
Yeah.
yeah. This is how it is. You have to lie, deceive, manipulate,
Yeah.
which is why Kevin's game is so good. The things we see Betty kind of, flip out when she almost won the competition where she was hanging on the thing. Betty did so great. I really thought it was unfair for Big Brother to then make them switch where they had to just hold on with their upper body strength. Women
It
just
was
don't have,
Easter, John. It was Easter. They wanted to go home.
yeah. Um, but women don't have that upper body strength. So I thought that was a little unfair when Marty won his third
Wow.
HOH. So I understand Betty being upset, but I love Josh saying, "Get your head back in the game. Go see his HOH room. Go do the fake it till you make it." That's
I
what you
don't
have to
I
do.
I don't mean to be old Shannon Bedore here and asking you to stick a pin in it, but I would just like to say, the opinions of John Richardson saying that women are weak are now a great reason for you to hate tweet him and leave me alone. Okay.
I don't know. I follow science, so it's just
Wow, he's doubling
biology,
down and now say it's
biology,
scientifically fact that
biology.
women are weak.
Women don't have the upper body strength men do.
I got news for you. I can't do a push-up, so apparently some men don't have it either.
Well, that's true, but but
No,
I
I
just thought that was a
understand.
little unfair. They talked about how they got everybody's measurements and stuff, and then they hung on there for over 4 hours. I could not believe it. That was insane. That was an insane competition, and I love the competitions on BB Can. I like them better than US, to be honest.
Oh, 100%. My mother, who I think, everyone knows what my life situation has been taking care of my mom with dementia. So it's always fun, It's like I got this new mom in my life. It's like when you're
Multiple moms, yeah.
multiple mom. I mean, here's the silver lining of dementia. You get to tell them whatever you want. They don't remember.
Again,
So I
again.
always, again and again, I always wanted a mom to watch Big Brother with me. So I just remind her every day, this is your favorite show, Mom. And we watch it together. And I loved how she was very much like, 5 hours? She's like, that's preposterous. And then my mom, who would run out of the room if there was a fly, is like this. Oh, those worms? No big deal. What are these people overreacting for? No big deal. I'm ordering a bag of those worms and I'm dumping them on my mom's plate for dinner. And I want to see how she reacts. I'm gonna film it. You're shading these house guests, Mom, like you could handle those worms. Ridiculous.
Oh, they're worms. You put them on a hook. That wouldn't have bothered
I
me at all. I loved Gino, was just calm and cool, just laying there. It's like, no big deal.
Yeah, well, no kidding, because he has his nipples pierced. So, he's not one who's probably shy of a harness and being whipped, and I'm here for it. Yeah, you
What's
darn
another
right.
worm? What's another worm?
Did you see Gino, like, looking at JC Lynn, like, oh, let me see the leather outfit you're in? Like, oh, Gino's into the
Oh.
freaky, and I am here for
Well,
it.
just the way he was looking up at JC Lynn with the horns on and looking
And
like,
the leather.
Xena, the warrior princess type of
So hot.
outfit. Yeah, they
So
both
hot.
looked hot. They were both hot.
And you know who surprised me? I know that we're kind of jumping around, but that's the point of this show, everyone. We're
That's
just
what this
jumping
is.
around and look, you guys watching on YouTube or you now or Twitch, you leave your comments, and if there's anything you want us to discuss in the chats, we're more than happy to discuss any of the things you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah.
And we're going where we're going on this show. But I was surprised about Josh when he had all the worms dumped on him. He like really reacted like he was being murdered, and I'm just like, you're a doctor. Like,
Not a
I don't know.
doctor of worms.
He's not a doctor of worms. I just mean he should know that like nothing is gonna happen to me. You know?
Well, I loved Josh laying there talking about all the different chambers of the heart, right? And he's like, I have to keep track of time, which he did
Like,
pretty good. I think he got in second or third place.
you know, Josh Josh almost took me, as everyone knows that I have an unhealthy everything because of how I grew up. And one of the things that I love is when hot guys cry. It's like my favorite thing ever. I just love watching a hot guy cry. So, I very much love that moment of Josh being like, Kevin, and we'll talk more about Kevin's task, but when he was just like, Kevin, and his like face broke and he was crying, really led me back to the moment that I knew I was gay in my life. If we go all the way back to like the Real World Miami, I think it was, when gay Dan had to say goodbye to his boyfriend in the airport and was like, Dan! It took me back to that moment. I felt all the love for Gino. And then I felt it when he was laying in that box and he started crying when he heard the voice of his boyfriend. And then I got a little teary eyed because I thought, it's going to be sad when I break them up.
I don't think it's hot. I
Okay,
was
no.
like, what a wuss. Come on, buck up. Keep track of that time, honey. Yeah, I thought that was a little dirty of Big Brother Canada to kind of put that in there so that they couldn't keep track of time. We saw how Kevin was keeping track of it and switching over to each finger, and then this would be 50 minutes. But I thought that was dirty, Big Brother Canada. A
Well, they
good,
always do
good
that.
dirty, good dirty, but definitely a little dirty. But you know, I can sit here and say, oh, well, what it was or whatever. I don't know. I've never been in the Big Brother house. I am constantly shackled to my partner, so I don't know what it's like to be away from him. Um, and I still cry at certain times when I'm with him. So I don't know what it's like to not be away from him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think everything that I rant and complain about on this show, I'm smart enough to know I would do all those things on Big Brother, which is why I won't play.
I would cry just to have a moment to myself
Right. No,
with a bunch of
100%. If I
strangers.
Right, if that would get me away from them, I'd be like boohoo boohoo. Uh but yeah, I loved Josh, and of course that competition was the throwback to the competition with Ica when they put the red bunny in her in her coffin back on her season, which is one of our iconic YRR moments when I called Dimitri's live and he talked to me about Ica and that red-eyed bunny. And you can go back and watch that on YouTube. It's a moment. It's
It's a
iconic.
moment. We love those moments.
So, yeah, I really enjoy this season how they're bringing back some of the big comps. There's a rumor. I mean, I guess this is technically a spoiler, but not really because we're not sharing any results of it with you until the end of the episode. But since we're talking about Ica now, I hear that she might have been the host for the next HOH.
I hope so.
So we'll see. We will
Yeah,
see
no,
if
I
she's
hope
the
so.
next.
She's fabulous.
She is fabulous. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the beginning of the week. Once again, it's like it's weird in the sense I feel like this season has given us everything we've asked for. Person who's in jeopardy of leaving gets back in power. Person who's on the block that we like gets off with the POV. Like every single week, we have that back and forth of power, which is what I thought I would always want, yet it's still not doing it for me, so it's weird. But anyway, Marty being back in power, did you even think this would be a good week, or were you just like, ugh?
Well, there was some great moments this week, right? Marty got in power. Was I rooting for Betty? Absolutely. I've been saying I want a Betty HOH because I want to see what she does. Like she could
Yeah.
just turn everything inside out. Marty wins again. Third one, good for him for his game. That's great on his Big Brother resume. Him saying he's just going to make his own decisions and do what's best for him. And then, of course, we see that he really doesn't again. I love the fact that he tells Gino for him and JC Lynn to just kick their feet up this week. You guys are fine. And when Gino tells her, she's like, oh no, we have to run. No, this isn't good. We know it's the opposite. And she was right. So
Yeah.
those kind of moments, I think, just crack me up. They're hilarious. I love that.
Yeah. I was excited to see what, Marty was going to do. I did feel a little bit bad that nobody was congratulating him when he won. I feel like this season is a lot of like nobody gets the social aspect of the game really this season, I feel like, except Kevin, which is why Kevin is winning
What
this
I've
game.
been
And
saying.
it goes back to the whole thing where I'm like, I love Betty, but I can point out that I don't think her game is great. Just like I'm not that big of a Kevin fan, but I can admit his game is flawless and he is dominating this. Um
Which is
so
what I've said from the beginning. Like,
uh,
we don't know Kevin. We only know Kevin in this house. And so, what you and I have preached for over 10 years is hate the game, not the players, right? We get
yep.
little snippet interviews of, hi, I'm House Gas and burp, burp, burp. And we still don't know them with those interviews. So we have to
No.
judge them by their gameplay, but not hate them outside the house.
Right.
Kevin was, I knew the way he was starting out. I called it early. He was going to go far. I loved him immediately. I loved his attitude towards the game as well. Right. And I love that he didn't take little things personally. He aligned himself with Jess, and when that didn't work, he kind of moved away from it. He aligned himself with Helena. That's working. He's still with her. He's playing the game, which I love. Betty is doing pretty good. She was the second to last to fall in the last or the beginning HOH comp. She did great with that. Betty, I think, in her head doesn't understand the socialness of. She makes it all kind of about her. I need this to save my life. I need this. If she would just accepted a little longer that she was basically just being a pawn, and kind of worked that angle a little bit socially, I think that could have worked out for her a lot better. But she gets into this, I need this, Bel Air Insurance, pick me, I need this, my life's on. Most of the time, your life wasn't on the line. So that's where I mean by that kind of sphere with Betty.
It always cracks me up like
A little
what is
selfish.
Twitter like what is Twitter going to be okay with, this like in the past if you begged for a power, you were the devil. Like Twitter would cancel you. And then this season it's like, "Yes, give that power to Summer. Give that power to Betty." It cracks me up. Or,
Well, I wanted to
what?
talk about that power too because I couldn't
Yeah.
understand why Canada gave Summer the power.
Everyone loves Summer. I mean,
I
we love
don't
Summer
understand why. Summer was on the block
because
campaign. I'm
she's
making I'm making no promises to anybody. I'm not doing this, but keep me around because I could be convinced later. That's crap
she's fun
gameplay.
feeds.
She's
Yeah,
crap gameplay. I don't
I
care.
agree.
She's fun. Let's have a drink. I think she's probably I know she's 100%
I'm
funny
convinced
and
she's a
hilarious
gay man.
outside the house. But for someone to campaign like that is crap for this game.
Yeah.
And then to even just see how she was right before the second eviction last night. Oh, I don't give a shit about any of you. You can kiss my black ass. All that. Nobody wants that with a game. But I think Canada saved her to cause a little havoc in the house. I think
Well,
they might have saved Betty, but it's like if we save Summer, now they have to switch things up. And I think Canada was pretty smart in doing that. Is
well,
my
I have to say, I have said that I think that Summer has a gay man trapped in her body.
she
Like
does.
she,
She's drag.
I and let me just tell you this to you. More on that in her exit interview. Make sure that you check out the exit interview that I did with her. I think you'll might see that I'm correct.
Well, I think she's got a little bit of a gay man drag queen show. I
She
think
gives me the drag queen energy. Like when she
yeah,
talks and she's like, "Oh, mama, oh, I don't know what you mean." Like she,
yeah.
yeah,
All of that's hilarious. Like I even said early on when she was hosting that veto with the cakes and stuff, it was her
hysterical.
commentary was so funny. Things that she says is so funny. I think what I have a tough time digesting as a fan is that when she gets nominated or things go her way or don't go her way, the way she reacts, she's just completely switches gears
Well, she's
like
young.
1,000%. It's just like to me that just like just really kind
No,
of dampers. the
I
spirit of the
agree, but I
game.
think if
Yeah.
anybody looked at us when we were her age, like I think that comes with age. I think exactly what you're saying. Her fun personality is what made Canada fall in love with her. It's what made me fall in love with her. And yeah, I think her, let's call them maybe more emotional and not processed enough instant reactions are not great. And I'll say she has a lot to say about that as well in the exit interview. But yeah, I think that just comes with age. I think she's just young and,
Well, I just
young.
think it's very interesting that when Josh nominated her as the replacement nom, and we see that scene where um, him and Betty are sitting there talking, and she comes in and saying, "You're a liar, and you promised me you wouldn't do this."
Horrible gameplay.
So Josh can make you promises, but you can't make anyone else promises. And then and then when he does something and he goes back on a promise, you're mad. You don't promise anybody, you don't align with anybody,
Well,
you're completely neutral. But then, oh, okay, if I had to choose between Helena, Kevin, and then a player that's not going to even promise me anything, guess what? You're the replacement nom. It's a game. She's
no, I mean,
insane.
it
She's
totally,
insane.
it makes sense, but then I understand why she's angry. She's playing, angry at Josh. She's playing a game of, I'm not going to make a promise to you unless I can keep it. And you made a promise to me and you broke it. So I'm angry.
But
So
she
I
doesn't
get it.
make
She's,
promises. How can she break a promise when she doesn't make them?
well, right. She's not making them to not break them. So she's playing honest.
Okay.
No, but do you
Great,
get it?
great
I
game
get what
still.
I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying that is why she's upset. She's saying, I'm not going to lie to you, and now I'm upset because you lied to me. I get what you're saying. It's easy not to lie to me when you don't make a promise. So, like, I get what you're saying, but she's, like, in
A
other
game
words,
of manipulating, lying.
well, right. That's why I say she's a horrible game. I love her as a person,
Oh my
but
God.
her game is shit. But I will also say I have a lot of respect for her in the same way like I have respect for the cookout of she's saying, I will not lie, I will not make a promise I can't keep, and if that gets me out of this game, that gets me out of this game. Now, as we all know, that's going to get you out of the game because it's, as you said, it's
Because
a
you're out
game
of the
about
game now.
it's a game of lying and manipulating.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to stop going, I'm going to play with morals and honesty. Then you're losing.
And we see this time and time again, and it's just crap. Don't play this game.
Yeah, go
We
play
see Marty.
Survivor.
Marty, I want
Which,
to bring everybody in, and I want you to look at the camera, and you promise Canada
oh my
you're going to
God.
vote for Josh. Look, I want your vow.
I
What is that
literally
crap?
cringe.
That's just the stupidest crap I've ever
Well,
heard.
because they're Canadian and they're like, they're so like honest and good people. Like if
They
you say it
are.
in front of the
They are
country,
nicest,
if you
nicest
say
people.
it in front of the country, you're gonna have to stick to it.
Now,
Mommy and Daddy
say
are
it to
watching.
President Justin right now. Ask President Justin. Tell President Justin.
I would literally be like, "Oh, hold on, let me say it into my microphone. It's right here." Boop, bop, bop. Hello, Canada. I'm sorry, I like cut all my fingers open.
I
Yes,
was
this
like,
is not
what?
good.
That was disgusting. What is going
Yes,
on?
sorry.
With
It's broken off. I'm trying to keep it on. This is all
that
sorts
made
of
me
stuff happening around
gag a
here.
little bit. That made me
Okay,
gag a little
so
bit.
that's just my flesh hanging off my finger as
Oh,
we
it
do
was
this.
absolutely disgusting.
So yeah, I mean, I don't even know what I would do in that situation of them being like, "Ask Canada." Whatever. I thought the whole entire thing that Marty did was ridiculous. Why not tell Gina? Like, these are all things I asked Marty in the exit interview. Why not tell Gino ahead of time if you really cared to protect him. And number two, by your own admission, you did not trust Kevin and Helena. So why not put one of them up to force their hand, Marty? It's just the worst gameplay I've ever seen.
It
The
is.
worst.
He should have put up Helena. Or actually, Kevin would have been if I was Marty. Gino and JC Leonard duos, most likely Helena and Kevin are. It was probably easy to figure out. Put up one of the duos, and that way you kind of have a 50-50. I think the only thing Marty did good this week was giving the Wendy's to Betty and Helena because they hadn't had it, hoping to get, some type of something from them. I thought that was the best gameplay he had with his HOH, to be honest with you.
And
Not
had
that
that work.
Great. Not that it was great.
They mocked him in the jury room for it, so why bother?
I know, but Betty didn't mop him as bad. So, you try things, they don't work. But that's how bad his game was this week, again, as an HOH. That the only good thing I could find out was that he gave them the Wendy's, which wasn't the best at all.
I just want to make
a little above everything else, especially the gummy bear. So
I just want to make this one point, because everyone knows I don't have the greatest memory, but there is one thing that I know in the history of all of these shows, from Survivor to Big Brother to Amazing Race to The Challenge, no one is ever giving you the win based on they gave me the Wendy's meal, they took me to Ponderosa or whatever the hell you do on Survivor to have the ice cream, they gave me the fast forward on a no one has ever been like, I'm voting for the winner because they did that thing for me.
I'm going to sacrifice so that my tribe has more rice. No, you're absolutely right. But that was the only barely a shiny silver lining of what I could find. I was trying to see something nice about his HOH, and that's all I could think of. It was because it was that bad. I was really disappointed in Gino. I really thought Gino could have really fought for that a little bit more instead of bowing down to Gummy Bear Gate. You told me, this is the third time now, Marty. You said you had my back. I'm
and
not
then you
doing the Gummy Bear.
Me.
You need to keep your word. He should have forced his hand instead of saying, okay, well, this is fair, and we'll just burp it, or okay, well, I'll draw gummy bears. I'm like, Gino, you know what? If you pick the red one, you deserve your fate. You did. I don't think
I disagree with you in that aspect, because had Marty told Gino alone, then I agree with you. But the fact that Kevin was sitting there and Helena was sitting there, I understand Gino's point of, I had to make these people think I'm, playing, like that I'm on a team with them. It does make sense. If he would have pushed back, it would have given Marty and Helena the excuse to say, you weren't part of the team when we all had to pick gummy bears. I'm nominating you now.
I'm saying that conversation should have happened before that. He really 100%. Should have instilled early on. You said you had my back. You need to prove it. You look at the cameras and you tell Canada for your third HOH, you're not going to screw me over.
Well, to be fair, you're mad at Gino for not doing something that he didn't know about. Marty sprung it on him.
Gino knew that Marty had screwed him over twice. Now he has a third HOH. Before the week even began, he should have said, I don't care what you do. You said you were loyal to me. You need to prove it now. I'm not going on the block. I don't care about kicking my heels up. You owe me.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. He should have been more. I mean, he kind of did, but not that direct or forceful.
He's a soft little teddy bear.
Except when he's in the bedroom and then fucking hook those nipples up to electrodes, and he loves the whip and put the worms on me. I don't know.
A nut.
Okay, so yeah, I thought the gummy bear thing was absolutely ridiculous. Marty's gameplay continuously makes no sense to me. Can I tell you another really shady thing that my mother said?
What?
She literally says to me, because every time Marty wins something, she's so amazed, and she goes, I can't believe someone my age does so well at this game. Now, my mother is 85,
I was
to
gonna say.
which, to which, and this is my favorite part, I turn to her every time and say, Mother, he's younger than me. And my mom goes, What? But I always just think it's so funny that my mom thinks he's like 85 years old at this game. But which, if he had dementia, might make sense to me why he is playing in the way that he's playing. It just, none of it makes sense. I understand that you think the gummy bear thing was a fair way to do it. But here's the thing. In doing it fair, you knew you only truly trusted Gino and JC Lynn. So therefore, if I was Marty, what I would have done is brought in Gino and JC Lynn and said, look, we know we're 3 strong, but we know we have the other people on the outside. This is what I want to do to pretend like we're making it all fair. Do you guys think this is a good idea? Are you guys okay with it? And brainstorm with them. The fact that each week he just goes off and goes rogue and makes stupid decisions, it's just like, I can't.
He's got this morality thing that keeps stumbling his game. And the thing that I took out of the Gummy Bear Gate was, I think the BB gods had spoken. Like, Marty, your game is wrecked. Your game is wrecked.
I will also say, the first thing I asked Gino was if he's a Sour Patch Kids guy from now on. You'll have to see what he said about that.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, I thought it was absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I loved Kevin in the DR laughing. Like, I thought it was the best. Again, I love how Twitter turned that into like, he's the worst human. He's having fun and making good TV, people.
Why does Twitter keep watching if they don't like it? So weird.
I don't get it. Well, Maximus' mom is usually the leader of all of their, delusional rage, which says a lot.
Mama love.
Well, she's one of the ones who was not happy with the cackling of him and Durham. I thought it was hysterical. And nothing speaks truer to everything that I think we've been saying other than look at Kevin's gameplay. Betty can scream at him, call him garbage, say you're the worst, you're disgusting, you're this and that. They're freaking best friends right now.
Totally.
Meanwhile, the person who Betty is like, you won, Josh! Triple eviction! You won! You did it, me! Betty was all but putting up banners for Josh in that airplane room. Like, she was leading the band. Josh, 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 Josh. And then Arissa's like, and who would you like to nominate? And Josh is like, Betty. Betty's just like, I'm sorry, like, I was dying laughing. How much Betty was like the biggest Josh cheerleader into that moment. And just, it's like, oh, I could not help but laugh out loud that, like, it was just, oh God. I cannot wait until Monday's episode. I need to see all the stuff that happened during commercial breaks that we did not get to see.
We did, and I think the only thing I did not like about last night's episode is, I want to see all of the individual comps. Like, the U.S. will do a triple eviction, and they'll go through all the comps. Like, there won't be 3 nominees. Do you know what I mean? Like, I to see them scrambling and doing this and conversations going in and out, and then we get to see that the next episode, just kind of like what you're saying. I wish there would have been more of that, but then, I also think too, what if he didn't put up Betty? What if he put up JC Lynn? No, because she won the veto. He couldn't,
put up JC Lynn. He put up JC. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, we can get into the triple, but I mean,
sorry,
I don't
kicking in.
First of all, when they were like, it's only happened 3 times in Big Brother Canada history, I'm like, really? I feel like it happens every season. Did not know this is like a 3 times thing, but okay. I also have a horrible memory, so that's number one. Number two, I do not like it. I have never liked it. I think it is so ridiculous to give one person that much power. You're
Yawn?
basically giving one person the power to kick out 2 people. It is. Oh, I don't like it.
Did you literally just yawn just a moment ago?
I'm hopped up on a million pills at the moment.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat your statement?
Okay. So, what I said was, like I remember, I have no short term. No, I don't think it's fair to give any one person that much power in a triple eviction. You're
Right.
having one person be able to send home 2 people.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
I think so too. I really I like how there should have been another HOH comp, another veto, and another eviction. I think having
Or
them
there should be 2 POVs. Like, if there's
exactly.
3 people on the block, then there should be 2 POVs. Or do one POV and the first 2 people that get
Yep.
it have the chance to be saved. It needs to be, it's not fair. And then I think it's very clear. I love Josh, so this is not you mad because Gino left. No, I'm not.
Listen,
I
that's
don't
a
think
cookie I
anyone.
could dip into this milk. Okay.
I said it right
Mm-mm.
from the beginning. When I knew it was going to be Gino and Josh, I said, then I'm Team Josh now. Like, I'm all Team Gino. The only thing that would make me not is if the choice came down to Gino or Josh, and I was not on board with
Yeah.
Gino over Josh. Sorry. Which I do love then how, Twitter was the biggest Josh fan until he dared do something for his game. How dare you put up Betty? They're calling for Josh's head on a stick now. It's just
I mean,
so
who else should
ridiculous.
he put up? Kevin?
I can't. Anyone who they don't like.
Yeah.
It cracks me up. It really, well,
Well,
it
I think
cracks me up.
Josh wanted a certain people to go home, and I think putting up Betty secured that because Summer was a lunatic, and it's just like, you know what? I can't work with you. You just need to
Yeah.
leave. Love ya. Want to be for Halloween, but I don't. I can't work with you. You don't promise anything. You don't really play the game, but you're hilarious in comps. You're hilarious in the house. And then, of course, Marty just had put him up. So I think he made the best decision to put Betty up. And if we see Betty upset with that, then that goes right to your theory of her just not playing
I
a very
just,
social game because she doesn't
yeah,
understand.
well,
She's so
exactly.
self-centered, she doesn't understand what's really going on.
Yeah,
And I don't mean
hey,
self-centered in a bad way. I meant just self-centered in the game.
yeah, self-centered in the game. Here's the thing. The triple literally sealed the point that everyone was trying to argue with me about. Notice how Kevin wasn't even an option. You know why? Because Kevin doesn't publicly fight with people. He doesn't curse. He doesn't do all of the things that I have said are an issue when a Betty or a Summer does it. Because if you play a good social game and you just eat shit, and by the way, I am not saying it is right or fair. It is not right or fair. You should be able to blow up and explode on people. Anybody should in that game. But that's not this game. This game is lie, manipulate, kiss people's ass, make them think you're your friend. Don't let people think you're their enemy. That is the worst thing you could do.
If you
It
start
makes
out
no
a
sense.
if you start out a sentence saying, it's not fair. Okay, well then you're playing the game. Like, you should be able to explode. You can explode. It's gonna wreck your game, but you can do whatever you want.
Oh
Free
yeah, do whatever you
speech.
want. It's just
Yeah,
gonna wreck your game. Just don't be
exactly.
surprised that it wrecks your game. Um, so yeah, I have to. It really. I mean, if somebody, it's so horrible. I'm evil. I can only be evil because I know the outcomes of stuff. But I just want someone to make a cut of like Betty and Josh in the room where Betty's like, "You did it buddy! You're the HOH on the
Look at
triple
this
eviction.
HOH banner I made for you. All for you.
All for you, triple eviction. It's all you, buddy.
Did it.
I have decided to nominate Betty.
Betty, take a seat.
Oh, Betty? And Betty's just like, so great. I love any blind side. I just love the blind side by the people who will react to it in such a good way.
Fourth
And they
time on
were
the block. 3 by Marty, 1 by her ally, Josh.
I can't. That's true. You've been put on the block 3 times by Marty and once by your friend. So sorry. And Marty was fine with it. I just love how Marty's like, I know I'm going.
Oh, Marty knew he was done. He just sat there relaxed.
He was just like, I'm doing it.
Like,
and I have to say, here's the funny thing out of all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Marty is the one who should have been upset and been bitter. Like, Marty is I found it very shocking that Summer was the one who was like, I'm getting out of here. Screw all of you. I don't care. I'm going to be a bitter juror. All of you can, fuck off, basically. Whereas Marty was like, my vote is not decided. I'm going to vote for the best player. No hard feeling, guys. He was just betrayed and blindsided by all the people. And that to me is what is... That saved Marty in my eyes from being a horrible player. Because I thought Marty was one of the worst players this season. And at least him saying that on the way out made me think,
he was, and he was happy and thanked, Big Brother for the opportunity. You would have thought what happened to Marty happened to Summer, the way she reacted. That's why I don't understand. I'm not speaking to anybody. These people are dead to me because Josh lied to her. Just one little lie.
Well, I think
just one little.
I mean, here's the thing, and I do love me a Summer, but I think Summer's goal was to try and be the next Ica. She very much was pulling out Ica lines. I feel like, she wanted to get with Gino. I just feel like sometimes Summer, as we know, she wants to be an actress. She wants to sing. I very much feel like Summer sometimes was like, I'm going to try and be over top. Because that's very Ica. Ica is very, you're all peasants. I am never speaking with you again. I'm shredding your letter. I don't care. I really feel like Summer was trying to embrace that Ica spirit.
We already have an Ica. Be something else.
Be Summer.
I didn't know if Summer was trying to maybe have a thing in a competition of her own, like never being on the block. And maybe that was upsetting her. I don't know. We saw her, Gino didn't pick her. We saw her talking about like the threesomes. It was just weird. It was weird.
Yeah. Destiny says, Marty was a fan of the game and Summer just applied to get back at her coworker. So, that kind of explains it a little bit, which, by the way, these are all great points. And I'll say, Marty had a surprising answer when I asked him if he thought being a super fan affected his game. That was something I asked him, and I was honestly surprised at his answer.
And these interviews are right now available on the Patreon group, right?
Well, funny that you say that. Every week, up until this week, they have only been available, and they will continue to only be available first for the patrons, and then I post them the following day for everyone. Except that I accidentally had an accident before we went live on this show, and I made them live everywhere. So, for this week... No one has to wait. Patrons and everyone, the interviews are out right now.
Oh my gosh.
I hit the wrong button. I hit the publish and not private. But, it's okay. The patrons are happy to share with everyone. They are happy to share this week with everyone. And there's, there's a lot of goodness in this one. Okay, so... I was really happy that JC Lynn won the POV, keeping herself safe. Josh winning HOH, and then nominating JC Lynn, Marty, and Summer. I was happy that JC Lynn won. What did you think of that POV comp? The like, gotta get the ball in the holes. A lot of people were saying it was made for a woman to win.
Um,
How do you feel? I know you're a
I
man
think
of
that
science. How does the woman's body hold up in this comp?
I am
Is
a man, a cis male who follows science. Okay.
yes. So how does the
I
female
I
body handle
I
this comp?
I did notice. I did notice the men were struggling a little bit. I love that you get to mute yourself and hack up
I'm
some
not
clips.
muting. I'm just leaning
Oh,
off away from the mic.
um, I did notice the men were struggling a little bit. I was glad JC Lynn won too. I'm really interested to see how the dynamic starts to play out. I'm teetering between, you know, all of JC Lynn's alliances are pretty much gone, right? She's either just going to be picked off, or I want to see hopefully if things maybe shift a little bit. I don't know. And depending on what we're seeing and if Big Brother doesn't have any more surprises, I thought it was smart for her to vote for Betty just because yeah, she doesn't have to show allegiance to Marty or Summer, especially Summer. So it just kind of, she voted with the house. Now hopefully, maybe she can kind of navigate a little bit, but I don't know. There's not a whole lot of hope for JC Lynn, I don't think.
No, I don't think there's a whole lot of yeah. I think she's in a lot of trouble right
She
now.
needs to win.
Honestly,
She needs to win everything.
yeah, she needs
And
to
she
win
could
everything.
because she's been doing great. She's got a good resume.
She does. She has a very good resume. So she took herself off. We then saw Josh go ahead and put up Betty, which rocked the world. Don't you dare. And at the end of the day, the House voted to save Betty, which I am interested to see those conversations. I want to know what led them to unanimously decide to keep Betty, which you must think must have made her feel good.
Yeah, I mean, I think within her perspective, because she's not really seeing reality really much in the house, probably made her feel good that she has survived the block again. I wasn't sure how Kevin was going to vote. I know that when him and Helena were outside and they were talking about, you know, as far as the votes, how the votes go, JC Lynn would vote for Betty, and so would um that they needed one more. No, that was a whole different thing. Never mind. Sorry, I'm getting confused.
You're getting your weeks confused. It's the
I'm,
medicine.
it's the medicine. I okay, so let me get back to my point. So I was thinking, I didn't know if maybe Kevin might have thrown Marty a vote just to save face. Hopefully, maybe he'd get his vote in the jury. But yeah, that was my only thing that I was thinking, and I don't even know how far that maybe would have gotten. So
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. 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 I know we have 2 more weeks left.
we do.
I know we have 2 more weeks left, and they haven't confirmed to us yet if anything is happening in person. And I asked again, and they don't have an answer. What's going
Oh,
to happen if, like, 5 days before finale, they say, all right, well, we're going to have in-studio interviews?
we'll have to have that discussion.
Well, I'm not flying, as we all know, so I'll have to drive. And
But then, do I fly to you and then we do a road trip?
oh, I don't. I think it's fair to say both of us would not do well in a car together for 9 hours.
But we could film that, and then that could be something. That could be
The
the
end,
intro to our new podcast.
or it could be the end of reality recaps.
Or it
Whatever.
could be the
Either
end of
way, it'll be fun. Tune in and find out.
we could live stream it.
Live stream the end. No, I think that is a wonderful. I mean, we'll see. We're gonna see what happens to these people. Live on you. Law says live on you now on the road with Eric and John. Yeah, I mean, we will definitely see what happens We'll see what happens. I would love to get to go back to Canada. I'm not feeling very hopeful. I feel like you're 2 weeks out. You know if you're having in-person things at
Yeah,
this point,
you know, and you've got
right?
LA locking down public transportation again. I don't know with this new variant. So, and I
Yeah.
don't know how what Canada's status is right now with the variant.
Yeah.
So, I don't
Who
think
is
it's
she?
I don't think it's looking very good, but
No,
whatever, you
I
know.
don't either. It would be nice, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
So that being said, can we talk a little bit of spoilers?
I love spoilers. I love it.
All right, so if you don't want to hear spoilers, let me quickly again remind all of you that you following, liking, and subscribing is the best way to help support all of these shows. That and sharing them with your friends, your family, your Facebook groups, thumbing up, hitting the bell, subscribing on Twitch or Twitter, YouTube, commenting below. All those things are great ways to help support the shows. You can always tweet John or I at Comedy Jonah on all of John's socials, at Reality Recaps on all of mine. We always want to hear from you guys, and you can visit our website. Maybe you want to see John talking Housewives 6 years ago. It's there. Maybe you want to see
John
John talking
looking
Survivor with
younger.
his mother. It's there. There's just 10 years of, memories on the site. So go and check out all of that goodness. And of course, I'm live every single night on YouNow, as I said, with my mother. I'm always watching the Big Brother shows with everyone. And then I'm live usually every night on Twitch playing games with people. So fun, fun, fun. Every
Good
night.
times.
People,
Good times.
I feel like I'm live. I am live. I'm live like 12 hours a day. There's no reason why people can't see us live. You know what I'm saying? But let's talk spoilers.
Do you see mine? I looks better now.
Nobody wants to see that.
Well, not with your dirty, disgusting, ripped Band-Aid, but I was mincing garlic and
No,
I was
no, la la la
talking
la la la
and
la.
the knife went right into my nail and
La la
everything.
la 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 la
La la
la.
la 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 la. It reminds me of a
It's
song. La la la. All right,
horrific. Okay,
spoilers.
so spoilers. Who do you think won HOH?
Oh my
Or do you know?
gosh, who's left? Um, I'm gonna say. I mean, I'm loving Kevin's game. Of course, I have a big crush on Josh. JC Lynn, I think, has a great resume. I'm still hoping for a Betty.
Okay, well, you have to know that Kevin is smart enough to know not to win an HOH, so we're not going to see Kevin win any. Kevin winning an HOH would ruin what he has with everyone. He'd be forced to
Absolutely,
pick a side. He's
absolutely.
never going to win an HOH. Well, you are correct for once.
What?
Your Betty is finally HOH.
Yay, Betty!
And I believe she's going to nominate. Who do you think she's going to nominate?
I think she's gonna JC Lynn,
Mm-hmm.
and I think she's gonna nominate Helena.
Last I heard, and this is, and I heard this yesterday. I have not seen feeds today. I've been doing exit interviews with everyone, but as of last night, I believe she was going with Josh and JC Lynn as the noms. I'm sure chat can tell me if that's right. And Destiny says that is still correct. Okay, yeah, still the same as of today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Josh as a pawn, just like she was a pawn, right? That's kind
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
Betty.
You're a pawn. You're a pawn, buddy.
You're a pawn, but that's kind of her MO, right? Like you just did it to me and I'm going to do it to you and tit for tat type of thing is Betty's kind of MO.
100% is her Emma. She wants a final three with her, Kevin, and Helena. Do you think that's smart?
Betty, I'm sorry, repeat that again. My ears are clogged.
Betty, Betty now wants a final three of her, Kevin, and Helena.
What? What?
Yeah, I was surprised too.
So
Well, think about
because
it. She can't trust Josh anymore.
why?
He just nominated her. I
As a
don't blame her.
pawn, she got a unanimous vote.
It doesn't matter. You put my
And
life
and
on.
then you've got me on the block now. Great. I'll put Josh on the block. He'll win it and take himself off. Now you both survived the block that each of you nominated. Even
No.
Steven. Josh has been in her corner the whole time. But it doesn't
No, he
matter.
hasn't.
It doesn't matter. Anybody sitting next to Betty is going to win, unfortunately, at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, the fact that Betty is saying she wants Kevin in her final three means once again, Kevin is not touching the block this week, so congratulations. Kevin just made it to finale.
Yeah.
And I doubt Kevin will touch the block on finale either. Let's say Josh somehow survives, Josh wins power. We had freaking Josh hysterical crying over freaking Kevin fake evicting. Everyone else was just like, oh, oh, really? Are you sure you're going to do this? And Josh is like, like he's not getting rid of him. It was like they were ripping a baby out of his arms when he thought that freaking Kevin was leaving. So none of these people are nominated. Kevin has won this game. I don't even know what we're even discussing
No,
anymore.
and I think that if Betty wasn't so bitter about being put on the block by Josh and now
Yep.
wants to have a final three with Helena and Kevin, that Josh, it would have been a tough decision, but Betty's making it easier acting this way. So you're
Yep.
right. I mean, Kevin is a clear path of winning this season. Absolutely.
Here's the credit I'll
Which
give
I
to.
predicted. Which I
Mhm.
predicted.
You did. No, I give you.
Me.
You were right.
How many times
Uh,
I did it? Me.
yes, you were correct. Look, I have said it since day one of this season. You've been very invested this season, and
I
I'm
don't know what's
very
wrong with
impressed.
me. Yeah.
I'm very impressed with how much you know about everything going on this season. Um,
Like a different person,
yes.
even when I'm
Kevin,
sick.
I know.
Me.
Courtney says Kevin went from possibly going home week 1 to now being in the final 5. It's so true.
I'm the one that called it too, so
You called it. You are smart. You are here, and
ready.
you know it all. You know it all. Yeah, I think there is no way Marty does not win. There's no way Marty does not take this whole thing. I mean, not Marty. Oh my God, Kevin does not take this whole thing.
I bet Jess is happy because an oddball's gonna win.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, we will see. I don't think it will be Helena sitting next to Kevin. I think if Kevin has his choice, it will be. Betty's a pretty good choice too.
Betty's a great choice. I hope it's not Josh.
Kevin's
For
not
for
stupid.
Kevin's
Kevin,
game. For Josh's game, Josh needs to sit by either Betty or
Helena.
Kevin. I think he has a possible chance
What?
of winning against Kevin. Josh and Kevin were final two. I think the jury would vote for Josh to be the winner. I think that if he sat next to JC Lynn, they would vote for JC Lynn to be the winner over Josh.
Why couldn't you just made that comment 3 seconds before I said how proud I was of you for knowing what's going on this season? In what world do you think Josh wins over Kevin?
Not in my world, not as a fan, but as the bitter jury. Look who's in the jury so far.
Yeah, people who are blaming Josh right now.
Listen, Josh Martinez won for the U.S. I mean, come on. The
Oh,
jury
I take it
can make
back.
some
Good point.
horrible decisions in the past on other seasons of Big Brother. I'm saying with the jury how Herman feels most likely that we saw a glimpse of it and Moose and now we've got Summer going in there. We've got Marty who I think will make the fairest choice, right? So
Marty is
and
aware what
Gino,
Kevin Marty is aware what Kevin's doing.
yeah, I think that
Marty
Marty's vote would be for Kevin, absolutely. I think Gino would vote for Kevin.
I don't think right now he would, but I think Marty
Yeah,
understands what Kevin is doing. Marty understands Kevin's game, and I think Marty will be a good advocate for Kevin. Marty has also said he wants Kevin to win.
right.
So
But we don't
Marty
know.
will be a big Kevin
When
advocate,
they if
I
he's
think, in
sitting
the
next to
jury.
someone like Josh who's super nice, who's won things too, they could vote for just being nice, having a nice social game. Jurors can be weird. I'm saying
Well,
best odds.
I will leave you with this little tidbit before we wrap this up. I confronted all of them. I flat out asked Gino and Summer, will you both be bitter jurors? It came out of your mouth, Summer, that you were going to be a bitter juror. So, are you? Like, I asked look, I'll even say this, and I'm probably not supposed to say this. I low key had PR come back to me and say, your questions are a bit forceful, and I think we need to rework them a bit. So, when I tell you that I went in on these people, I went in. I asked the questions you want to know. So that is up right now. I'm sure it's in the playlist. If you guys are not watching this show in our BB Can 10 playlist, check out our BB Can playlist on YouTube. The interview will be in there, or check out our socials. The current interview is always pinned at the top of our Twitter or Facebook or any of our socials. But you can find all these shows over on our YouTube channel, Reality Recaps.
Yay. Yeah, great week.
Final thoughts, Comedy John.
Just, Kevin doing that self-evict, he did it so perfectly.
Yeah.
I was cracking up when he was telling Gino and he had to put his hands in front of his face because you could tell he was
Who's
starting to laugh.
laughing?
He was laughing a little bit, like that cracked me up. I love that this week. I love the triple eviction. I think Kevin is playing just a fantastic game. And yeah, I can't believe it's just 2 more weeks.
I don't for a second think, I mean, I clearly Josh believed Kevin, but I'm sorry. I feel like the edit had to edit so much around Kevin's horrific acting. If these people bought that, I mean, Kevin was literally laughing, saying the way he just walked in the room and is erratically packing his bag in front of Josh, and Josh is like, what? And I just loved when Kevin was like, I'm leaving. You can't tell anyone. And Josh is like, I'm telling everyone.
Well,
I'm just like, what is happening?
Well, I think he knew how to play each. He sized people up pretty well.
Yeah.
So the way he was delivering the information was slightly different. But no, Kevin's acting was superior.
No, I thought it was horrific. You guys, sound off in the comments below. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? We do read all the comments. Maybe I'll pick a few of the best ones to read on next week's Big Brother show. John and I will see you then next Friday. We'll be together doing this all over again after our next exit interview. Or I'm sure you can see John in the Patreon group. You can see me every single night of the week over on YouNow and Twitch. I talk to live feeds, watch the show with my mom. It's a lot easier than trying to find it online. Just watch it with me and my mom.
True
It's all the
that.
rage. You're not invited. Maybe if you had dementia, you'd be invited to the People Who Have Horrible Memories Club to
I've got
watch BB
phlegm. I'm coughing up a lot of phlegm. Am I invited?
No. Bye for now, everybody. Oh, special shout out to EVOO, Doctor Who Whore, Loverboy for being the top 3 fans over on YouNow. Thank you all for being the top 3 fans. We will see you guys all on the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.